hello, all. It is I, Dragon's Fury, your lovely host, followed by the illustrious Infernal. Say hello.
You interrupted me.
We'll get it right eventually. It's only been what 40 something episodes. We'll get it right. Sure, possibly,
Sure.
maybe, doubt it, but that's okay. No one's expecting us to get it right. That's why everyone loves us. Well, the people who do love us. Um, That being said, we want to give our thank yous for continuous support. We've picked up a new region, the lovely listeners in Mozambique. Thank you for finding us and enjoying the nonsense that we are providing to the internet.
Yeah. Dragon literally took me on a freaking guessing game to figure out which region, and brought back some harrowing memories I had locked away.
And for those who don't know, Mozambique, it also exists in the game of Apex, and we've had a fun love-hate relationship with that weapon. And we're going to leave it at that. He was already sad about the memories coming back to him as is, so we don't need to have him go through it more. That being said, also, we have the Patreon Live. That can be found at patreon.com/the Dragon's Den 55 for all of that fun bonus content for those who would like to use something more of a known name than Spotify's third party, which is fine. So we have both options for you to subscribe. You can do audio only, or you can do the Patreon. Patreon does add more benefits. The audio only for Spotify, you exactly as that, but on Patreon you get access to the Discord and all of the fun things that happen in there, as well as all of the stuff that we've posted on the Patreon. There are 2 levels, so check those out to see which one you are interested in. No more than $5 will be the cost, so nothing crazy for the month of fun, and you can join whenever, and if you decide you want to stay with us for a long haul, then you can stay with us for a long haul. But right now it's monthly, so do it for the month. If you aren't fun of what's happening for that month, then you can opt out, come back in when it gets good for you again. Sounds like a fair trade-off. So, all of the housekeeping out of the way, we're gonna pop on into the topic of the day. Along our theme of villainy and all things in between, we are...
Before we get to that, on the trend of villains, and as we talked about Apex just a moment ago, what are, this is kind of like a segue, what are your thoughts on the Revenant Reborn that's coming out soon?
Cool. Great question. Don't know. I saw it, what's it?
Trailer.
I didn't even see a trailer. I saw the thumbnail for it on Steam, and I just haven't watched it because I haven't been playing Apex. I only play when Thor wants to play, and it's pretty much every so often when he's home. So I haven't been playing much. I know Mermaid wants to play again because she's been missing it, but other than that, it's just been Fortnite and League because of the event that's going on right now. So yeah, no, I have no idea. So give me Spark Notes. What's going on?
So, obviously, when it comes to his abilities, I remember that they left his wall climb and crouch walk.
Wait, he's getting a rework?
Yeah, it's basically a whole rework for him.
Oh, I thought it was just a story event.
Oh no! They're literally getting rid of the original Revenant and replacing.
Are they putting a story with it at least?
I would assume so. I would assume that because next season we're not getting a new legend. Revenant Reborn is going to be the new one. So I would assume the season is going to be around Revenant Reborn because from the trailer, because there's a mission in Apex right now where you play as Loba and you're in, I think, one of Hammond's facilities, and you find out that they're doing something with Revenant.
I did see that.
Yeah, and so from the trailer slash cinematic that they uploaded, like Revenant's literally having an existential crisis as he normally does. Is nothing working right, and he's seeing a lot of things that he doesn't really recognize. Um, Funny enough, like Loba kept an eyeball she found from the Hammond facility, and Revenant could see through it.
That's weird.
Yeah, so he's literally just peeping on their conversation because it was Loba, Crypto, Lifeline, Maggie, and I forget Doctor Who's there. But yeah, it's like they're planning stuff, and then it basically ends with Revenant crawling through the vent, coming out, and just choking Crypto. It's like, what's happening to me? And it's the new Revenant. So it's like I've been hearing stuff that's like this is going to be a new person as Revenant, but I don't know the full story just yet. But yeah, so for his rework, the passive is pretty much the same, where it's like he can climb and move horizontally quickly. His tactical has changed, called Shadow Pounce. I'm just going to read the notes that I found. You unleash a powerful leap forward that closes the gap between Revenant and his prey, reach height on a wall, or to simply reposition. You can hold it to charge the leap and go even further. So they basically got rid of his silence. And his ultimate, Forged Shadows, creates a shroud of shadows around him that prevents direct incoming damage, examples, bullets, explosives, or melee, but not ring or caustic gas / fire. His hitbox is enlarged, making him a bigger target. However, shadows recharge slowly over time, but shooting him will reset the charge. Shot recharge instantly if Revenant gets a knock. So
I hate it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Because this doesn't help for fighting. Like, this is... Like, they're basically turning him into assassin. Are they bringing solos back? Because that's the only way that this makes sense. Because everyone's kit has the ability to synchronize or, what's the word? Fuck, I can't remember the word. But essentially go, well with the other abilities. So it's like, you got Newcastle works great with Catalyst because it's like she can throw up the wall to block vision and he can then fly in to help, whatever, or, there's a lot of control in that. You got Watson Fences, again, works great with like Crypto because then you can break off an area and then you have him going in and scanning the other side of like the blind spot of it. So it's like everyone has like this ability to like really like work well with all the others, especially if you like use them in a unique way or a way that isn't stupid, right?
Yeah.
But from what I'm understanding and what you're telling me is that it's basically turning him into a Kali with hints of Nidalee.
Yes.
What? Like, I don't, and I'm the one who's like, okay, like, what's a better way of using this, like, in the non, like, traditional way? Like, like, when they had, like, that whole time of when they were using caustic traps on the runners, right?
Yeah,
that was the thing. Or, like, when you found out you can put Gibby's dome over it. Like, those kind of things. Or, like, locking people in with Mother Load and then sending in a Gibby ult or a Bangalore ult or like stuff like that, like things that can go together. But like without the totem you can't do anything with your team because it's only helping you.
Yeah.
And like the silence, that was helping your teammates because it's like, okay, they're silenced, cool, they take a little bit of damage and then they can't use their ability, so it's a straight gunfight. And that's, that's what's really like the equalizer thing. Like the abilities are supposed to be for like the equalizers, but it's like, okay, cool, great, but also it's like, why are you taking him being like a prey stalker and making it where he's just a straight assassin, which frankly was Ash was, I'm assuming, was the original plan for that. But even her stuff is still helpful because you can snare, you can track. Like I don't like any of this.
Yeah, like obviously, like obviously, once we actually like see it in game, like we'll have a better idea.
When's this supposed to go
Um,
live?
the beginning of next season, so it should be next week.
Ugh, not enough time to like brood over it. Oh well, we'll see what that's about. Yeah, but no. There's the answer to your question. I don't like it. Um, that seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be obviously like I like Revenant, so I like Akali in League, so it's like I'll probably like it, but what like obviously gotta get hands on it first to really judge it.
Well, they have like the training area, so you can just grab him in there and see what the fuck he does. And they have the dummies that actually attack now, so
Oh really?
yeah.
Oh, I have not seen that.
Um, so
Thinking I
it's so.
apparently go to the training area.
Well, I was only in there because I was waiting for Thor to get out of his match because he had added me to the. He had invited me in. So I was waiting for him to come back. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be here while waiting for you. So it was like, all right. But
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with Apex right now because I finished the free items for the Neon event.
yeah, I didn't even try.
Fair enough.
Like I loaded in, and then something happened, and I was like, all right, I'll just take that as a sign that I'm just not meant to do this. So that's pretty much how I took that. It was just like, all right, I guess I'm not meant to do this mode because everything I'm trying to do is just not working, or it's like update here, update there. So like I said, I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to that. But and frankly, I'm just bitching only for the sake of bitching because the reality is that I haven't done a season in a while, and I don't see me doing it unless it's like something absolutely phenomenal of a skin and skins for the past. Because other than that, I'm just going to be Mirage because I'm Mirage. And that's that. Like, there's no reason to switch, and the only reason why I played so many characters was because of the pass requiring me to play other legends for the sake of progressing it. But outside of that, I'm a Mirage main. So
Yeah. Also, find Mirage. I actually got his Deku skin.
oh yeah. Do I have that one? I don't know. I can't remember the ones I have for the hero ones. I know I have Cryptos.
Yeah, you have Super Saiyan Crypto.
I have Super Saiyan Crypto. I have Daft Punk Crypto too. Still don't know when I got that. Couldn't tell you. I've been wearing that one a while, so like yeah. If any, Crypto would be the next person that I switch because he's the other persona. Like between the two of them, that's pretty much everybody I play. Like good. That's everybody I play good. Everyone else is just kind of ass. So
It's just that.
yeah, they're just pretty much there. So, but all right. Well, heading into the other things of conversation. It is anti-heroes and vigilantes. The morally questionable individuals who are wreaking havoc in their various region, or in Deadpool's case, all of them. So
multiverse.
So we have our classics. We have Batman, we have Punisher, and we have Deadpool. And we have, for the current anime hype, which I get it's a decent anime, I still think it's overhyped, is my hero being Vigilante Deku. And And yeah, so who do you want to spiel about first? Who?
Uh, let's see. Well, I mean, we talked about Batman and Deadpool just a moment ago, so we can bring them up.
All right. Well, time for the rant that I always have about Batman. He fucking sucks. Batman sucks. He is the worst at his self-entitled job. Uh,
Damn.
he is okay. And I do suspect I'm not the only one. I know there's more people out there on the internet. So like if you're a diehard like Batman fan, I'm sorry, but you're just like the Goku lovers. He's not all that great. Calm down. He's so bad at it, right? So you have, and there's a line. I think there's a line in Justice League or something where he was like, "I'm just a rich kid with parent issues or something like that," right? When someone like confronted him about like his behavior, it was like, "I'm just this," and that's facts. He's just a rich kid who decided to turn the trauma of losing his parents into this weird obsession of a borderline personality break, and is just out here for the most part beating up on mentally ill individuals or individuals that he had firsthand contribution to their existence. And
Yeah. Like when it comes to Batman, like I feel like at least to me the best portrayal of him was from Batman the Animated Series, because like unlike a lot of the current iterations of Batman where he literally just beats the shit out of them for just because they're bad, in the animated series he's literally doing what he does to try and actually get them some help.
yeah, you're right. That's like the only one where he's actively doing that. But it's really you're the reason for your own problems.
Yeah.
Especially in that one, because a lot of it is the way that they framed it, because a lot of it is you don't know that a lot of these like villains came to be because of him, and then we get the backstory, so it's a lot of retrospection on our part as the audience, and we're just like, oh hey, okay, so that's how we got here, and that's unfortunate.
It's like, well, shit.
Right? Well, shit. And a lot of, especially in the animated series version of a lot of his villains are like way worse than normally portrayed, I guess, in a lot of. I mean, I can hear it now. The comic nerds, like, I am a visual media individual, so I don't know everything that happens in the comics. I am just solely talking about television and movie depictions of said characters. Leave me alone otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, also I feel like most people like if they haven't like I feel like most people like at least saw or like grew up with Batman the Animated Series before Justice League and all the newer iterations.
Right.
I mean, to be fair, Batman the Animated Series is an old series, but it's also one of the best.
Yeah. Also on Netflix. I've been watching it on like as background noise.
Oh damn, I didn't realize they put it on Netflix.
Yep. So
shit.
and just getting also because for whatever reason, Big Brother has been in my brain of late, and it's just unlocking all of these like old memories and all these old shows, and just giving me videos of people like bringing them up about like said conversations. It's like, oh, it was like just like this villain, or like how disrespectful they are versus like this person, and like oh, it's totally his fault that this person's even a villain, etc., like stuff like that. And I was just like, yeah, that's true, whatever. But like I had this rant long before this video came to be, but Big Girl is always listening, so is that one of those kind of things. But I need I need more depictions of like animated series Batman, where it's okay, he's actively being forced to accept that he's not doing everything right, and he's causing a lot of problems. Because what was it? The episode with when Freeze comes back, and he basically catches like hypothermia to the utmost, and he basically has like a psychotic break about it, and he's like, oh, like what, what am I gonna do? Like I'm not like deserve, like the city's not deserving of me, blah blah blah, etc. Whatever. He was running into like another problem. Like someone had said something where it's like Batman, like the city needs a Batman, but like because he got his ass beat, he's just like, well, it can't be me because I had this happen to me. Like, you know, post almost death feelings, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't been almost frozen to the core by a person that I turned into that, or subsequently kind of sort of did it. One of those things, like, I may not have directly had, like, I didn't put him in the cryo chamber, but like I was the reason why he was on the run and ended up in the facility, and then said reason why he jumped into cryo chamber.
Yeah. Also, isn't it also the same story with the Joker?
I don't remember.
The Joker was Red Hood at first, and then they fell into a pool of acid or something.
I thought it was the other way. It was Red Hood is like, isn't Red Hood the alternate version of Joker? Like the same thing happened, except it didn't drive him crazy.
Yeah. Okay. I might be getting different stories mixed together.
And I think that's why it was like so jarring to him, because it was like, oh, why do you know so many things? Oh, well, because I am him. Like I'm a version of him.
I know how he ticks.
And stuff like that. So, but like and then not even going with the animated series version of him, even going like with the other ones, like, you know, Justice League or Batman Beyond of like old Bruce, it's still like this constant stubbornness of not accepting that you're the problem. Like, yes, there's going to be crime no matter what, but the reason why there's more crime is because of you. You coming in and dashing all of these individuals' plans who, for the most part, organized crime is organized. You're coming in fucking up everything. Now they're pissed at you because
how dare you mess up our crime?
Like how dare you come and mess up my business? And now I have to take extra steps to get around dealing with you, or in a lot of their cases, they square up with them. They obviously lose due to plot armor reasons. Check out that episode we did with Apollo. But it's still you are the reason it's like that, right? So it's like in the animated series, the one that, like, you know, the good one is like, the reason why Bane's even in the city is because he was fucking with somebody's, you know, business. And I think it was like some crime syndicate family or whatever. I don't know if they were like a major one like Penguin, but it was like one of them, and they are literally having a meeting about Batman ruining everything that they were working on. And so they hire a mercenary who has been going under all of these modifications, and they're like, he can do it. So otherwise, now, I'm not saying, yes, let these guys run rampant. I'm just saying, you're the reason why the drugged up crackhead is in your city. He is specifically here to beat the brakes off of you, which he does. But also, it's like, it went from bad to worse in a matter of minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, but then he still, you know, he still tries to fight fire with fire, and then, at least with the animated series versus, like, Batman Beyond, he's attempting to work with the police in some weird, like, side passive-aggressive fashion. Like, he's kind of, like, feeding them, like, oh, hey, you know, this kind of happened. It's like, it'll be...
Yeah, because, like, at that point, like, Bruce, like, obviously realized, like, he can't be Batman anymore, so it was like, he has to leave it to the police at that point.
Right, but like before he's like old man Bruce, but it's like, but like with Beyond, and you get what is this? What was Terry?
Yeah, Terry McGinnis.
Um, you have it's like okay, cool. You have someone else running it for you, but you're teaching them how you did it, and it's for all intents and purposes, it's the future. Like it's the quintessential okay boomer scenario. Like it's not gonna work the way you think it's gonna work because these guys are used to what you did. Like this is the result of you doing what you were doing, your reign, for all intents and purposes, your reign of terror on the underground, right?
Oh,
And
right.
they're doing all these things in spite of you. Prime example, when I don't know if you remember, but in Batman Beyond, there is an episode when basically Joker quote unquote comes back, and
The movie, right?
no,
Oh, okay.
like
Never
the show,
mind. Okay.
there where he comes back quote unquote, and I say quote unquote because spoiler if you so choose to watch something that is X amount of years old at this point, double digits, I'm sure. Um, that it was a chip that had a
Yeah,
imprint of Joker's mind, and
yeah, that was the movie.
the Batman Beyond movie.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whichever. Um, and he's like trying to do it Bruce's way, and it's going to shit. It's just getting worse. Like he's just getting batted left and right. And then it doesn't go in his favor until he's like, all right, you know what? Fuck you, respectfully, but I'm going to do this my way. And then he beats him because Joker has, had such a stranglehold on Batman. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, if he wasn't batshit evil, or at least, criminally insane, or whatever you want to title him, they would be best friends. You can't tell me otherwise. The amount of back and forth and petty shit that they do to each other is best friend shit.
Oh yeah, like I mean, there's so many like iterations of them that it basically shows like you can't have a Batman without a Joker.
Right, which is, is like good, evil, but quote unquote good and evil, right? But it's really just morally questionable with more morally questionable. Because it's Joker is not doing these things for the sake of doing it for crime. He's doing it for the sake of fucking with you. It's funny. He's a crazier Loki. And if Thor like fed into it more. And he's like, I just like fucking with people. And not even people. You specifically. You're the one I like fucking with more. The most. And in order to do that, I gotta go fuck with some other people. But only because it gets your attention, because this is the things that bug you. Like, these are how I press yo buttons to the point that it goes into meltdown.
Do it.
Same thing with, for my Whovians out there, with the Master, when he became Missy. Same concept.
Forgot about Missy.
I'm not doing bad things for the sake of doing bad things. I'm doing bad things to get your attention to either A, make you understand what I've been going through, that so-called, our people were like this honor or whatever, and I'm like, I'm just been tortured by this thing that you're using to celebrate yourself with. And then it switched to I just want the one person that fucking understands me back. And I will do whatever the fuck it takes to do that. Which, unfortunately, means fucking up with some other people. So, I'm like...
That's what the Earth thought.
Yeah, and so... That being said, would you qualify the Doctor as a vigilante?
The Doctor. Doctor specifically, I mean, obviously he operates by his own rules. So, I mean, I guess by the term of a vigilante, I guess you can call the Doctor one. Because
Correct
like he
answer.
doesn't. Well, yeah, because like he doesn't follow one's rules by his own for the most part.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't have, well, that's to be debated, a detrimental effect, but like it's like you said, it's its own rules, and there is what is it? A line where someone he saves is like, what gives you the right to change, the
The water,
outcome?
water of Mars.
Yeah. And he was like, he basically says, because I fucking can.
Yeah.
And there's just like, oh
Not the
no.
hard answer, buddy.
It's like, that's not a good answer, my dude. And so, yeah. And it's very, very much like that. And then you have, on the other side of the spectrum, Punisher, who is just like, okay, I deem you target number X, Y, and Z because of X, Y, and the third, and you gotta die for it, and it's going to be brutal. Do they deserve it? To be debated.
Uh,
um, to the level, maybe not.
Yeah, no. To the level that the Punisher does, yeah, no.
But yeah, so it is very much a lot of stuff like that. But we can't talk about vigilantism, I don't know, without the OG, Robin Hood.
Oh dear God, yeah.
The original jackass.
Yeah. Oh God, freaking.
Now, okay, on paper, on paper, this doesn't even work out. It's like, I rob from the rich to give to the poor. All right, sir. You don't need an economics degree or a modern sense of economics of how wealth works. But you're going to be forever stuck in a vicious cycle.
Oh, yeah.
Because no one is necessarily stopping you to the extent that you're like, maybe I shouldn't go after them. No, you are hitting anyone and everyone who has the unfortunate misfortune to cross paths with you, right? And you're taking them for all they got. This isn't some pocket change. Like, if they're, a trade caravan of some less than reputable proceedings, that whole caravan is taken. And then now you're giving it to the poor. All right. Cool. Saying that these individuals have some semblance of, okay, I use this money to get food, to get my living arrangements, maybe pay off some unsightly debts that may have occurred due to desperation. There is different things like that, but if they do what the rich people do, then they become rich. Now what, buddy? Do you go and take everything from the person slash people that you gave this money to because they are now seen as the rich? Or is there a criteria that's being met of, okay, you can have money, but you can't be a dick about it?
I feel like that's partially it. It's like those that, I mean, obviously, like Robin Hood, like whenever we see him stealing, it's always from someone that's like living it up in a big castle or something.
Right, but that could just be propaganda. We don't know what else he's doing.
Exactly.
So like it's a very very interesting concept in the sense of like this doesn't seem like it would have been a good thing to begin with. Then you have the other side of the spectrum, which is just pure unadulterated chaos. And our anti-hero Deadpool, who's just like, I'm doing it because I can, and I will because you can't stop me. Unadulterated chaos. Yes, some good comes out of it. Yes, bad comes out of it. And
Just the Lady Death.
yeah, it's just, oh my god, the fact that that's a thing. The fact that Thanos is involved, the fact that it's a weird ass love triangle of Lady Death, Deadpool, and Thanos. Like, the fuck.
Yeah, right. Like I think that's the funny thing. Is like because Lady Death likes Deadpool. Deadpool likes Lady Death. Lady Death doesn't really care for Thanos. Thanos likes. It's like, this is a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess, and it shouldn't even be a mess because it's like, oh, Thanos is like, hey, girl, and she's like, what do you want? And then Deadpool just comes rolling in like, what's up? And like, just ruins everything.
Yeah. Well, that's Deadpool for you. He will ruin everything.
He will ruin everything. I'm just like, okay, let's just, yeah, it's very, very, very interesting. But so, with that out of the way, it's story time again.
Yep.
Part 2. Try number 2. So backstory. Our Patreon members understand what this is, but everyone else doesn't. So just to give you a little tidbit, last week we recorded our usual episode, and I fucked up. And yeah, so I have an issue with the audio levels being truthful to me or not, and so you may have noticed that a lot of these episodes of late are way louder, and that's done on purpose so that we don't have to worry about the voices coming in too low, and all you have to do is just turn us down versus trying to turn us up to hear us. So
hit the mute button.
So yeah, so never like listen to us at 100%. Not recommended to be a good idea.
I mean, it's not a good thing for anything to be listened on.
It's fair. That's fair. Yes. Unless you're blading Brave Souls, 2 of which it doesn't give a fuck and will be at 100 on purpose.
Yeah.
Still don't know what that's about.
If anyone plays Brave Souls, or if you're going to try it out, make sure your volume is off.
Yeah, just turn the volume off entirely. Or just don't have it coming out of anything that could affect your ears. Just don't do it. It freaking sucks. And so we did the episode, and I'm looking at the levels, and I'm thinking everything's fine. I go through further review that I do at the end, per usual, and I can't hear myself for shit. And I have more sensitive hearing than most people, and I'm just like, yo, I don't know what the hell's being said, and I fucking said it. So in that episode, I told a particular story, which I will retell in a different form, so that way it still is available. But we also have an original story from Infernal that is only available on the Patreon. So if you would like to hear his original story, you'll have to join the Patreon to get that aspect.
Happy with how that story time began.
That's fine. I don't think I put all of it in.
Okay,
maybe.
Oh, fuck.
Check the Patreon. Check out the Patreon. Let us know. I was saying, I think it gives more character to the story. It's you developing as a voice and the characters that we are building with our fans. So I think it's not as bad as you think. I understand you're not happy about it, but it's not as bad as you think. I promise.
Well, yeah, because I mean, hell, as most people can probably guess just from all these episodes, I have a bad case of anxiety at times.
So yeah, we're working on it. We're getting through it, but it's fine. And so I do want you guys to still have the original story that I had told, and I don't want you guys not to have that, because again, for those who have been with us from the beginning or have gone back and listened to our beginning episodes, Storytime was a tenet of what I wanted the show to be, and so I'm trying to get back to that when we have more things worked out, a planning of how we want to execute everything. So, that being said, this is going to be definitely a Deadpool-esque telling of this story. Infernal already knows it. He's heard it many of times in every version I have told it in, and this is just going to be a new one that I tell it, and I hope you enjoy. So, and for context, this story is a story based off of my character that I had in Skyrim later on in my playthroughs. So this is a later iteration of character development. So a lot of things that any of my fellow Skyrim fans will notice is due to, you know, knowing about it ahead of time versus, oh, you just stumbled upon it. Nah, this is... It was meant from the beginning. This was a planned thing. But the way things play out is because of which. So, that being said, story time. Oi, sorry. So, everyone knows that no matter how well of a leader you are, people don't like those who are in power. And those who are in power always have to watch out for those who are trying to take said power from them. In most cases, it's usually someone that's close to them because they're the ones who have all the information that is needed in order to really get under your skin and usurp you at your base, at your foundation. And the Emperor is no different. So, unfortunately, one of his fellow councilmen, if you will, felt that he no longer was doing his job well enough and that he could do it better. So he puts things in motion to bring the Emperor down the only way he knows how, by unaliving him for our more sensitive individuals. But you can't do that directly. Obviously not. You have to employ someone else. And what better than a group who's known for assassinations? And all it takes is just the right amount of coin to do so. So, our lovely council member decides to put his plan in action and starts making his means to contact the group known as the Brotherhood. And typically, you only know about the Brotherhood because you are a target or you have provided them a target. One or the two. And rumors of their existence or their activity may float around depending on what circles you like to run through. That being said, they're not as strong as they used to be. They're not as prevalent as they used to be, to the dismay of their leader, who most happily jumped at the opportunity to take on a contract that led into more contracts to basically take out the Emperor of, well, the region. Now, being a small band of killers, you need more hands to pull off something this big. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of resources. And what better than an individual who stumbled upon us because he heard the cry for help and answered it instead of the Brotherhood. Fasher, being the fun-loving and mildly disdained Khajiit, is wandering around in this land of Skyrim as any adventurer would, looking for a purpose to some extent to get him on his feet, to allow him to continue life, because this region is frigid, cold, and unforgiving, and no amount of fur on you will help you. So, he has particular skills that he has, let's say, leveled up and perfected to the point that he is pretty much a threat and can hold his own to anything that may come around. Be it bandits, trolls, godforsaken saber cats, all sorts of unfriendly things in this region. Rumor has it that there is a kid who's trying to get the Brotherhood's attention. Brotherhood sounds like an interesting group of individuals, especially one that have a lot of connections and would know how to make some money. And, you know, in a more fun way than those over in the guild, because their rule is no killing. Where's the fun in that? If they don't want to comply, why can't I kill them? But that's beside the point. So, we make our way towards the designated area that said child is attempting to perform the ritual that summons the Brotherhood. Frankly, it's weird in my opinion, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm the one going in looking for him as well. So, I use my lovely lock-picking skills to get into this home that this kid is waiting for an answer for his plea for help. He thinks it's me. It's not. But who am I to correct him? He's going to give me the information I want. Also, he's going to pay. So, I'm not above taking money from a kid. So, he says, hey, such and such, blah, blah, blah. I'm only partially listening. But I do pick up on the important stuff. Person who needs to no longer be a person. And so, I proceed to find said person, remove said person, return back. Everything is as it should be. I got a little money in my pocket, more. This kid's semi-happy, or who knows. Again, wasn't fully paying attention. And I'm thinking it's a nice, good day's work. Off to go to sleep. Talking about having a rough night. Because I'm not where I went to sleep. Some chick over on a bunk bed is looking down at me, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck this is about.
You gotta lay off the moon sugar.
Quiet, you. So she does her spiels, saying that she's the leader of said Brotherhood that was contacted. Oh. And then I took their contract. She's not wrong. I did. Well, what do I care? So, as recompense, I am to complete another kill/contract for the one I took. Which frankly doesn't make any sense to me, because that just means I've taken out 2 people that were supposed to be done by you. But who am I at? Who am I to question the chick who kidnapped me at night and I didn't freaking realize it? She has to be good at what she does, so I'm not going to tempt my fate. All these lovely individuals laying here are whatever. They have their stories. Anyone could put a hit out on anyone at this point. So I get a little overzealous and decide to just take them all out just to be safe. This seems to impress her in a weird way, but it is what it is. She invites me in to her little group and tells me what needs to be told in regards to getting into the sanctuary that they have. Fast forward me traveling through this godforsaken backwater land, and I reach the sanctuary. I answer the question. It has other options of riddles. It's weird. This place is weird. And we go through. So, I'm having a fun time hanging out with these guys. Killing all sorts of fun people. There's a vampire child with a pet spider. Not gonna look into that too much. And I'm pretty sure he's a pirate. who's been giving me my contract, so I guess he would be my handler. Now the fun stuff's happening. We get word that someone wants to take out the Emperor, and I am more than intrigued. This is the big dog, or at least so I heard. Given the fact I'm not from here, nor do I care about most things here. I just want to take a lot of people out in the most creative ways possible. So, I started following the rules of targets, this, and now we're getting to a point where we're starting to be more direct in our approach to get the attention of the players that need to be involved and to bring the Emperor out of hiding, per se. And we're doing it via family. So, one of his family members seems to be getting married here in one of the holds in the castle, which I hear is pretty schwanky. So, we get the information, we find out when they're going to be there, and we're like, let's make a big scene of this. So, the target is to disrupt the wedding itself by pretty much any means necessary. And if I'm not seen doing it or cause too much attention to myself, I get a little bonus money, which is always a good thing. Now, you have your, usual method. You sneak around, you give a little stabby stab, and then you're on with your life. But I got more showmanship. So, I took some time before the wedding would to occur to build up some skills. Needed to go talk to some nerds about some magic, and I needed to go talk to some blacksmith because I need to make a lot of weapons so that I can make better weapons. So this is going to take some time, but I have a plan, and that's the first step. So, after talking to the nerds about the magic and dealing with that idiot of a smith for godforsaken longer than I would have liked to admit, I have everything that I need. I have a high quality dagger, which for whatever reason everyone's packing, at least a dagger of some sort. I guess you need some means of protection, but a dagger's not really going to save you from the things that attack you out here, so I don't know what that's about.
Plus on security,
Who knows? So, we make our way. It's wedding time, so I make my way. The security here sucks. I don't know if it's because they're so pompous in believing that no one is going to target said family member of the Emperor and his new to-be wife, or they're just so confident in their abilities to keep everyone safe. Whatever the case, they were wrong. So I slip in, oh so nicely, go up to the balcony with the lovely couple, and leave them a nice gift. 2 beautifully crafted ebony daggers. With a little surprise on that I learned from the nerds. And I left them 2 gifts each, because, gotta be fair. So I left them the daggers, and I left them a beautifully black gem to match said ebony dagger. Because, it's all about accessories. Now, because I'm so good at gift giving, they didn't know that I have given them this gift. But that's okay. I'm not here for thank yous. I'm here for the show. Now, I learned another trick from those nerds at the college. And, I guess they were good for something. And it's a particular spell that makes people angry. Blindly angry. So, I give them a little dashing of the spell. I did both just for balance sake, because, let's be real, If your soon-to-be slash husband decides he wants to start attacking you, well, you fight back. So there was going to be a fight no matter what. But I wanted them to share in this hatred for each other after having so much love for each other. As they are duking it out, I sashay myself down below so I can get a nice seat to watch them duke it out, to the horror of the audience. And again, security sucks, so I don't look like I belong here. But in their defense, a more pressing matter is happening. The bride and groom are fighting it out. Now they have to go sort it out. Well, they didn't do very well. So now the guard's involved, the wife's involved, the groom's involved. It's a whole spectacle.
Chickens involved.
Chicken's involved. There's probably a donkey out back that's making bets. Who knows? Now,
Okay.
these guys were not martial winners or everything of such, and they needed to pick up the pace. But hey, they're doing my job for them, so it is what it is. So once they finally take each other out, they drop dead in a pool of each other's blood, and I go collect the spoils of war. Now, those gifts that I gave them had a nasty little trick. It tags the soul to be ripped out of you upon death and put in a nice little gym that was nearby. And so thankfully, they died roughly around the same time, so each of their souls are in their lovely little trinkets that I left them. So, I took my knives back, because what do they need it for? They already used it to the best of their abilities. And I took their accessories as well. And I walk out to disappear into the mist. Now, for those astute individuals, what happened to their souls? They're still in my pocket. So that's story time. And that is the more theatrical version of me finishing the mission of taking out a couple that I decided to do in a unnecessarily extra fashion. So
Yeah, you put a lot of effort into that murder.
yes. So hope you enjoyed the story. It is one of my favorite stories to tell in all the versions that I have for it. And yeah, so we are just about done here. So we are going to pop over to the Reddits, and we are going to do a Would You Rather, because those are always fun. Let's see if we can find a good one to end the show. All right. Nope. That's not a good one.
Oh, dude.
Here we go. On theme. Which supervillain would you rather work for? You would just be a no powers, no name hitchman. You're not special in any way, just trying to make some money. Joker. Penguin. Red Skull. Mr. Freeze. Doctor Doom. Or Ra's al Ghul.
I mean, out of all of them, I feel like Doctor Doom is probably the nicer of the bunch. So I feel like I would have to go with Doctor Doom.
All right. We have Doctor Doom. No,
Yeah,
Mr. Freeze.
As much as I love the cold, I'm good.
For me, it would be Ra's al Ghul. Because for the most part, as long as I can maintain being a decent fighter, which training comes with, I'm Gucci. I'm not going to get taken out because I have the skills to take them out instead. Obviously, given the fact of what I just told as a story, it's not really much of a shocker. Um, so, yeah. Ra's al Ghul for me.
But plus, just I don't know. When it comes to the villains, I feel like the worst one to look for would be the Joker.
Almost definitely. He's strapping you to any contraption. He's spraying you with Joker gas just because he's throwing you off of a blimp. Like, it's ridiculous. Doctor Doom, frankly, really is the best one. Only like, especially for the fact that he, has his own nation, and for the most part is a pretty solid ruler. Like, the people of Latveria don't really have that much of a problem with him. As long as you don't cross him, you're perfectly fine. So
Yeah, it's like really, yeah, no, Doctor Doom is his best option.
So yeah, I would say, let us know what you pick in the comments, and yeah. So let's see what is the traditional go through. So Patreon, if you would like to support us in that facet and get extra bonus content that we have available and will be providing more of. That would be patreon.com/the Dragon's Den 55. We have the audio only on Spotify that you can subscribe to there as well. All of the sub episodes are there available. And same with Patreon, all of the sub episodes that have been recorded have been uploaded to the Patreon, so both sides get the sub episodes. What else we have going on? I think that's pretty much it for housekeeping stuff. If you have any suggestions or comments or concerns, let us know in the comments or reach out to me on Instagram. Dragon's Fury 93 is the handle. And we also have a Reddit page for the show as well. It's called the Dragon's Den Show. You can post there. It's not as active as I would like because we don't have as many Reddit users, which is fine. You can hang out with us via the other means. No biggie. And yeah, we're just moving along. So thank you for our new listeners in Mozambique. We love you. Thank you to all of our other regions that we have who have listened to the show. So shout out to Australia, shout out to South Africa, Colombia, Singapore, Belgium, Ireland, and my mans Vanilla and Kuwait. Yeah, and all of our lovely local individuals here in the States. If you are East Coast, thank you. If you're West Coast, thank you. Midwest, thank you. And everybody in between, thank you. And we'll see you on the next one, which is either on the sub episode or next free one. So until then, drink water.
See y'all next.
And we are out of here.